And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Thank you for joining us for the Alaska Weather Show. I'm meteorologist Emily Niebuhr. It's September 1st, 2023. You can reach us at 1-855-937-4977. You can also find us online at weather.gov/Alaska, or you can email our media expert, peter.chan@noaa.gov. We have quite an active weather pattern going on, so we have a lot of advisories and a few watches to discuss today. It has been a very wet week across the Brooks Range and much of the central interior. As a result, especially the Tanana River is at bank full or near bank full in many areas. Especially, we have a flood watch out for Tanana Flats area, and that goes out until Monday morning. So again, if you're going to be along any of the Tanana or tributaries, you want to be very cautious about river levels. They're high right now. There also, we have an advisory out for the Fairbanks area that goes until Sunday for, again, high levels of the Tanana River, and also some special weather statements out further east for higher levels of river levels along tributaries and coming in from the Brooks Range. Also further north, we are starting to see a seasonal pattern change. Expect snow levels to reach 2,000 to 3,000 feet in the Brooks Range and also in the Alaska Range. And so that might impact, there might be some snow in the passes, light snow. However, above 4,000 feet in the Alaska Range, there could be several inches of new snow. So it's the hunting opener this weekend. So if you're going to be hunting, be expecting a few inches of snow if you're going to be above 4,000 feet along the Alaska Range. Meanwhile, we have a frontal system we'll be showing you in the moment, but it is bringing some high surf levels. So there's an advisory out for Seward Peninsula and along the west coast for higher surf levels, and that goes until Saturday morning. Also for the Kuskokwim Delta, we're also expecting, that's just a special weather statement, but still expecting higher level than average surf along those coastal areas. And then for there, it's more Saturday afternoon. So again, a lot of things to keep track of this weekend. If you are going to be going outside, check in weather.gov, see what the latest advisories, and make sure that you're traveling with caution. I should mention also for the Talkeetna River levels are also, there's an advisory this weekend that goes until Saturday. For higher levels there and for Willow Rivers as well. So a lot of rivers are fairly high for this time of year, so keep an eye out. Because of all this precipitation, as you can see, this is from our Alaska Interagency Coordination Center for Fire Danger. It's low across almost the entire state. There's a few pockets of medium, maybe a small area of high, but generally very low risk for fire danger currently with all this precipitation that's been falling. This is a great satellite imagery. This is high-resolution polar satellite. This is shared to us by our Fairbanks office. You can see this low wrapped around. This is from earlier this morning. It's frontal system swinging across sort of, here's a Kuskokwim Delta. It's swinging across much of the state. So beautiful imagery showing the different layers in the clouds. Let's look at that front on the map. So again, this is our low pressure system, fairly weak, but also still bringing another round of showers to areas that have already had a lot of rainfall and showers in recent weeks. That stretches into the Bering Sea. We have high pressure building in across the Gulf of Alaska, and we also have a low pressure system off of the Kamchatka Peninsula as well, with a front bringing precipitation to western parts of the Bering. For tonight, the low will drift a little to the north and west with its cold front catching up with the warm front. We're starting to see also this trough across eastern Gulf of Alaska, maybe bringing some showers to the panhandle. But again, generally a high pressure in place to the south. As we go into your Saturday, that low pressure system continues to drift towards the Chukchi Sea, and that we start to see even more occlusion of those frontal systems. Again, a wet day with some steady onshore flow across much of the Kuskokwim Delta, and also bringing some showers to the Kodiak area as well as Kenai Peninsula. For your Sunday, the front continues to move across and bring some showers across into the eastern parts of the state, but the low is going to also be impacting parts of the Seward Peninsula and the northwest Alaska. Meanwhile, we have the next low pressure system coming in off of Kamchatka Peninsula. Let's take a look at your temperatures for the weekend. As you can see, we have temperatures 49 Kodiak, 49 in Anchorage. Again, temperatures we're starting to see some cooling off, some slow transition towards seasonal changes. In the Panhandle, we're looking at temperatures in the lower 50s. Saturday afternoon, we're going to warm to 60 in Anchorage, 58 on Kenai, 61 Kodiak, 60 Gulkana. Temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s in the Panhandle. Sunday morning, low 50 in Anchorage, 40 in Gulkana, 50 in Kodiak, and again, upper 40s in the Juneau area and in the Panhandle. Warming up into the 60s, the lower 60s in the Panhandle by your Sunday afternoon. 60 Kodiak, 57 Anchorage, 57 in Gulkana. Now let's take a look at your temperatures for Saturday morning. Along the Arctic coast, upper 30s, 42 in Fairbanks, 40s in the Seward Peninsula. Saturday afternoon, we're reaching 52 in the Fairbanks area. We're reaching low 40s along the North Arctic coast and a few 50s across the Seward Peninsula. For your Sunday morning, 38 in Fairbanks, mid 30s in the Arctic coast and 46 across the Seward Peninsula. For your Sunday afternoon, warming to 57 in Fairbanks, not quite touching 50 along the North Coast, and a few 50s in the Seward Peninsula. Along the Bristol Bay area, Saturday morning, we're looking at upper 40s in Aleutian Islands and Alaska Peninsula, 50s in the Bristol Bay area. Warming to about 53 in Bethel by Saturday afternoon and mid-50s along the Alaska Peninsula and Aleutian Islands. Sunday morning, we're looking at lows again, upper 40s and 51 in Bethel. By Sunday afternoon, warming to 57 in Bristol Bay locations in the interior. We're also seeing eastern Aleutians, some 52s, mid-50s, and 53 in Bethel. Now let's look at your CPC climate prediction outlook. September 7th through 11th, we are looking at temperatures generally tend to be below average east of Anchorage and near normal up near Ukqiavik in the Arctic Village. As we go for your precipitation, we're generally expecting above average precipitation to continue in the next 6 to 10 days with even greater chances towards Northway. Late to 14 days, similar trend, closer to average temperatures as you go east, but towards the west, we're expecting temperatures to be below average. And again, widespread above average precipitation with greater amounts near Anchorage expected. Now, your 1 month outlook, we're expecting generally for the next month temperatures to be slightly above average in eastern portions of the state and below average in western portions of the state, with greater chances of above precipitation across much of the state. Meanwhile, the Panhandle looks like it's going to be a little drier.